English 7. Focus, listening. Aspects of British life. You are going to hear 10 speakers, each one talking about a different aspect of British life. After each item, there will be a short pause for you to choose from the list below what you think is mainly being talked about. Write the letter of the aspect you choose in the appropriate box. You can only use each letter once. The items will be read once only. But first, take a look at the aspects listed below, and remember, you can only use 10 of them when you complete your answers. Do that now, please. Listen, please. Number 1.
Community programs are directed towards people who cannot care for themselves, those in poverty, and those experiencing discrimination. Social services authorities provide for children and youth, the elderly, and the disabled, and there are advisory and regulatory bodies. For the elderly, the disabled, and those with learning disabilities, major services include supervised residential and daycare, help for those confined to the home, support services for family members caring for those individuals, and counselling.
Number 2.
Although the English language has been modified by a gradual convergence towards estuary English, a less formal variety of southeastern speech, and educational and socio-economic factors, it is possible to determine people's geographical origins by the way they speak. In some areas, there are significant differences in speech patterns from one city or county to its neighbour.
Number 3.
In the past few decades, people from varied backgrounds have had greater access to higher education. Wealth distribution is changing, and more upward and downward mobility is occurring. Yet the British class system is still very much intact, although in a more subconscious way. The playing field is levelling, but the British still seem to pigeonhole people according to class, which is no longer simply about wealth or where one lives. A number of complex variables come into play, including demeanour, accent, manners, and comportment.
Number 4.
In the 1990s, national debates concentrated on the relationship between work, family life, consumption levels, and the socialisation and education of the next generation. A significant divide still persists, however, regarding access to occupations by men and women, pay levels for similar kinds of work, and the allocations of domestic tasks.
Number 5.
Members of Parliament have been told that making better use of the current available funds will mean reducing the number of patients who stay overnight in hospital. More patients will be treated and sent home on the same day, and fewer people with chronic conditions such as diabetes should be taken into hospital for emergency care. Ministers, therefore, intend to unveil legislation that will radically involve restructuring and handing doctors the power and money to commission treatments for their patients.
Number 6.
Since the 1980s, ideas about the role of the criminal justice system have been changing, largely as a result of perceived and real increases in violent and property crimes. Local communities, with their informal mechanisms for social control, are considered an important part of criminal justice. Neighbourhood watch schemes have become popular, and victim-offender mediation and reparation, community mediation and neighbourhood mediation have emerged. Police cautioning, in which juvenile offenders and their parents or guardians are informed of the seriousness of their offences, has become popular too.
Number 7.
Formerly a very homogeneous society, since World War II, Britain has become increasingly diverse as it has accommodated large immigrant populations, particularly from its former colonies such as India, Pakistan and the West Indies. A new report has found that all groups of ethnic minorities support the maintenance of their own ethnic customs and traditions, but they also show equally striking support for mixing and integrating, with positive feelings about the cultures of both origin and destination countries.
Number 8.
The emergence of the nation took place between 1200 and 1850. The first period when a quasi-national feeling was able to unify the people was the 100 Years' War with France in the late Middle Ages from 1337 to 1453. Although a dynastic conflict between successive English and French monarchs, this war became a cause in which Anglo-Saxon and Norman customs and traditions merged into a recognisably English way of life.
Number 9.
Despite financial concerns experienced by many consumers and the resulting emphasis on bargain hunting and value, consumers continue to prioritise recreation above most other areas of spending. New data indicates that while households cut back on spending overall during the downturn, spending on recreation and culture actually increased. This indicates that despite tighter budgets, the appetite for such experiences is very strong, so it seems that the desire for different types of holiday will continue to increase over the next decade.
Number 10.
The flag, the Union Jack, combines the crosses that appeared on the flags of England, Northern Ireland and Scotland. Wales is not represented, as it was considered part of England in 1801 when the flag was adopted. That's why there's a Prince of Wales but no Prince of Scotland. So if Scotland votes to remove itself from the United Kingdom, the white St Andrew's cross and its blue background should be removed from the Union Jack, leaving just the red St George's Cross of England and the red St Patrick's Saltire of Northern Ireland. And if the Union Jack ceases to exist, many millions of pounds worth of sales in souvenir teapots, tea towels, t-shirts, umbrellas and customised minis will be rendered obsolete.
Now you have 1 minute to go through your answers. And that is the end of the listening test.